Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to game number 2, day number 1 of the ACHA Division II National Championships. Before we get started, we will take a listen to the playing of the national anthem, and we'll get this game underway. All right, another fine rendition of the national anthem. We're about set to go. Yours truly, Lou Gamlin, along with Rasty McGibbon. And Rasty, we've got a battle of the number 2 team in the East, that being New Hampshire, and a team that had to go 3 days in regionals, the third seed, number 9 out of the West, the 3rd seed Utah State.
And, you know, I think for Utah State, they're really going to have to come out banging and scratching. They do have one advantage in that they have played more recently than University of New Hampshire with that bye. University of New Hampshire really going to have to shake the rust off a bit here in the first period and try to get going early. Utah State, I think really for them, the game plan coming in is do what made them successful through regionals. They're going to have to bang and scratch, not too many chances with the defensemen pinching in, because University of New Hampshire historically has been very fast.
Coulter Pritchard will be in net for Utah State, and it'll be Brendan Sullivan in net for the University of New Hampshire. New Hampshire in their white jerseys, going from left to right on your computer screen, and we're underway. Taking the puck for Utah State in the front court will be Jonathan Ball, into the neutral zone, dumped into the corner. Going after it was Keegan O'Brien. He's bounced off the puck. There's one right at the doorstep, kicked in behind the goal, and they're going to throw it around in the near zone. Puck loose, and New Hampshire will clear it out to center ice. Brown brings it up over the line, over on the near side, tries to make a play on it, deflected in behind the goal. There's a short-angled shot, deflected up over the top of the goal. They dig away at it over on the right side. It's loose, and Coulter Pritchard will cover it up. 38 seconds in, Pritchard gets his feet wet. Both teams with one shot on goal.
Number 14, Brian Brown, the captain, skating through there with a bit of a late poke of the glove of the goaltender. Then we'll get these names to you. Coulter Pritchard, and he was escorted out of the blue ice. That's taken about 38 seconds so far. UNH showing their speed as they advance the puck through the neutral zone very quickly there.
Patrick Holmes will take the face-off for New Hampshire. He's got 41 points on the year, won cleanly by New Hampshire. Utah State trying to make a play on it deep in their own end. They're going to play it out to the point played there by number 19, Timothy Farrell. But here comes Utah State with an odd man rush. Up over the line, going after the puck. That time was McKechnie, and it's played right out in front in the slot area. There's a shot, whistled in on goal. Brendan Sullivan had to be sharp, Rasty. 1 minute in this scoreless tie.
And I'll tell you, already you can see Utah State not being incredibly selective with the shots they take, and I think that's fantastic. I think volume is important. You got to get it on net, first of all, but then the volume of shots.
Cutshall will take the faceoff and win it momentarily for Utah State, though New Hampshire will come up with it. The Wildcats get it out of the zone, and Leon brings it up over the line, quickly down the right side with a shot. Big shoulder save by Pritchard. Over in the far corner, they dig away at it. Coming up with the puck is New Hampshire. Roberto tried to make a play on it in behind his own goal, trying to set it up out at the point. There's a shot deflected over in the near corner, clearing it Chris Cutshall for Utah State. Still loose over in the far corner. Shot didn't quite get to the goal, and Utah State will clear the zone. We've got about a minute and a half into this opening period. Both teams scoreless. Holmes with an outlet pass to Roberto. Roberto skates through 3 defenders, and he couldn't quite get towards the goal. Coming up with it was Keegan O'Brien. There's an outlet coming up over the line. Making the play is Kirk Vliet. Coming in on goal with a shot. Kicked away before it got to the crease. New Hampshire comes up with it. They play it in the near corner, a big hit right in front of us. Skating it up over the line. Here comes New Hampshire with a try, and it's going to be played over in the corner. Mullen made the play that time for New Hampshire, and it's going to be deflected back in their zone.
I tell you, New Hampshire definitely is willing to use their point man. So far, Utah State dropping down, not giving a lot of coverage on those point guys. We'll see if that develops here in the first period at all, as University of New Hampshire definitely can ring them in from the point.
Coming up over the line with the puck, New Hampshire's Sean Thompson. And it's going to be an on goal. Pritchard will glove it off as we've got 2.5 minutes left, or gone rather, in this opening period of a scoreless time. And Rasty, how long does it take before the bus legs get off and they start really getting serious here?
Well, I think they look pretty good. I don't know, typically at these nationals, when you start talking to coaches of the number of 1 and 2 seeds who've been off, they talk about being off anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. And you've heard different strategies like, we're just going to try to schedule some games since they've already secured the number 1 or 2 spot. And I don't know. That would be an interesting question, to ask of the coaching staff. But I think they look good.
Wow, there was a long rebound. Skating in for that juicy rebound was Brown, but he couldn't come up with it. New Hampshire applying the pressure now, but instead Utah State will come up with it. 3 minutes gone in this opening period. We've got ourselves a scoreless tie, and there's one high off the rafters, and the faceoff will come down into the Utah State end.
I think to combat the speed that University of New Hampshire has, when Utah State picks it up around their own blue line or in their own defensive zone, they're really just going to have to just start moving in the direction of the University of New Hampshire defensive zone, start heading in that direction and wait for those passing lanes to open up.
Ducey won the faceoff for Utah State, stumbling going after the puck. That time for the Aggies was Brandon Blauer. Puck in behind the New Hampshire goal as they'll look to set up their next rush, as we're about 3.5 minutes into this opening period, no score. Kicked off the state of Roberto, and they're going to throw it back down into the New Hampshire end. Skating after it, quickly brought down from behind that time was number 19, Timothy Farrell. Now the puck's out to center ice. Skating it up over the line, quickly coming in on goal with a shot. Oh, a glove save with authority off of the stick of Leon by Coulter Pritchard. 16-18 to go. We're scoreless.
Good end-to-end action here. If you are just joining us, today is day 1 of pool play. If you have been tuning any Division I games that are about 10 miles north of us over in Frisco, Texas, we will talk a little bit about their format as they are playing kind of a one and done, but we're doing pool play, and we'll talk about that as the day progresses.
Well, there was a shot taken from the blue line that time by New Hampshire rather, taken by Nicholas Mile, and it was deflected before, or it was kicked away rather by Pritchard, and now it's going to be deflected back out to center ice. Miele will take it in his own zone, played out to center ice, deflected down into the Aggie zone, chasing after it for the Aggies, Brett Fernandez. Puck played over at the blue line, now lifted out to center ice, where it's going to be in the corner, and they come up with the puck to the Aggies. Coming up over the line, O'Brien plays it in behind the New Hampshire goal. He was bounced off the puck, and it's going to be played now out to center ice by the Wildcats. They throw it towards the goal, easily gloved off by Pritchard. He'll hang on with 15:20 to go in this opening period. We're scoreless.
So just speaking a little bit about pool play, in this pool, which is Pool B, each team will play the other three teams in the pool once daily for the first three. And normally by about Sunday, we really get into detail about all of these tiebreaker scenarios.
Well, we get an interesting one from the first game with a 2-2 tie as Trine in Northern Colorado had a slugfest, 94 shots combined for those two teams with only 4 goals total. Here New Hampshire has it behind their own goal. They look to regain possession and with Matt Lambert in behind his own goal. He'll skate it out of there and lead it out to center ice. Arno brings it up over the line, hands it off to his brother. There's one whistled wide of the goal. Al Arno with that shot. They played over by the point, and it's now deflected, and Utah State does a good job to lift it out into the New Hampshire zone. No icing as the Wildcats will have to pick up the puck. Held in for a moment by McKechnie, plays it to Decker. There's a shot that's whistled wide. Out of play, 14:31 to go here in this opening period. We're scoreless.
So the only critique I would have of Utah State so far, and we've seen about 5.5 minutes of play here, is when they pick up the puck in their own defensive zone, they have to look at advancing it and not just by a flip pass out in the center ice. They really got to turn with that and start to do something that's going to generate some offense, or at least get the red line and dump it in.
Lallier with the faceoff went up into the safety netting as it was deflected, so that'll keep the faceoff in the New Hampshire end. What Leon looks like he'll take the faceoff for New Hampshire. Actually, they're going to take the faceoff out to the center ice area, it looks like, just outside the blue line of New Hampshire, Taking the faceoff will be for New Hampshire. It looks like it's going to be Patrick Holmes. Indeed, it is. Lallier takes it. He wins it cleanly, and it's going to be played by Utah State right in front of us at center ice. Blauer tips it into the New Hampshire zone, but it's back out to center ice, throwing back into the New Hampshire end. 14:15 to go in opening period, no score. Puck deflected off into center ice and back down into the UNH end, where New Hampshire will just clear it out to center ice. Little dump and chase on both sides here as they try to establish position here in the first 6 minutes of the game. There's one deflected over into the Utah State bench area to stop play with 14:01 to go, no score.
Utah State with a coaching change in the offseason. Talking to John Eccles there yesterday when I ran into him here at the Plano, Texas rink, and they have opted for younger blood with CJ Westlake, who is a name that was frequented on our broadcast from last year, at the helm this year.
Face-off controlled by Utah State as they dig away at it right in front of us. Finally, New Hampshire comes up with the loose puck. Holmes will try to make a play on it. Cross-ice pass, plays it over there to the far side. Finally coming back up with it is Farrell. Farrell with a nice little give and go to Roberto. Roberto skates it down over in the near corner. He's bounced off the puck. 13.5 to go in this opening period, still scoreless. They play the puck in the neutral zone. New Hampshire comes up with it, whiffs on a clearing play. Now it's going to be dumped back down where Utah State will go after it. Robert Ducey will have it, plays it out to center ice, tipped by Kirkavliet, and he tries to come up with it, and it's now dumped into the Utah State zone. 13:10 to go in this opening period, still scoreless. They played around the near boards out to center ice. Coming up with it are the Aggies. Coming up over the line, Kirkavliet with a shot that is deflected over in the near or far corner. He gets the long rebound in behind the net, playing it over on the right side. Now here comes New Hampshire. They skated out of the zone, one handing it out of the zone that time was Thompson. He plays it around the goal, or behind the goal rather. There's one shot deflected before it got to goal. Centering play, little too strong for Thompson. Here comes Utah State, 2-on-2 the other way. Stopping his Decker, he gets it into the zone. His pocket is picked. Mapio comes up with it, and he's going to skate it out of the zone into the neutral zone area. He dumps it down into the Utah State end. 12.5 to go in this opening period, no score. They played out the center ice, deflected down towards the goal, and they're going to call icing. 12:20 to go in this opening period, no score here on the ACHA Hockey Network.
So in the last 2 minutes, a lot better job by Utah State transitioning the puck out of their own defensive end And I think the shots on goal, if they continue to do that, will start to rack up in their favor. 6-4 shots on goal right now favoring University of New Hampshire about 8 minutes into the first period.
Winning the faceoff was Brian Brown, and he went after it. Now we got a 2-on-1 possibility. There's a shot deflected, and oh my, Pritchard had to look behind him to make sure it didn't go underneath his blocker pad, but he was able to stop it before going over the line to keep it a scoreless tie. 7th shot of the afternoon for the Wildcats.
Right on the doorstep there was number 2 from New Hampshire, Al Arnault, and he was poking away at it, but nothing gives.
This face-off won by Kirk Vliet for Utah State. They come up with it. They throw it around behind the goal, but right there to try to come up with it is New Hampshire. They dig away at it over in the far corner. 11:55 to go. Now it's lifted out to center ice. We're going to get another icing call as Utah State clears the puck a little too far, and we'll get the face-off back down into the Aggies' end.
And, you know, a lot of this is kind of feeling the other team out, right? But University of New Hampshire doing a fantastic job of puck support along the boards. Utah State with one guy, second guy kind of coming in there late. And, again, what I talked about, just kind of flipping it out into the neutral ice area without a man open. So they're going to have to get some more puck support there along the board so they can get this thing broken out.
Face-off was fought for, but finally dumped out to center ice as New Hampshire tries to get possession of it. But Utah State will come up with it behind their own goal. Coming up on 11:30 to go in this opening period. Still, both teams scoreless, and it's played in the Utah State end. Coming up with the loose puck, Dylan Arnault. He tries to take it out on top. There's a shot deflected before it got to the goal, taken by Lambert. Puck in behind the Utah State goal. Now it's over on the left face-off circle. Deflected but not out. Good play by New Hampshire to hold it in. And the puck is loose. There's a scrum, but without the puck. And finally kicked off a state of one of the Aggies. It's over in the near side now. They chop at it right at the blue line. Coming up with it is Arnault for New Hampshire. He holds on to it at the blue line. Nifty move. Comes in on goal with a shot. And he scores! Al Arnault from the left face-off circle. Breaks the ice, so to speak. 1-0 New Hampshire. Time of the goal, 9:05.
Really nifty move there by Arnault as he danced around the defenseman just inside the top of the circle and was able to walk in and really snapped one by the goaltender there from the face-off dot. It took them about 10 minutes, but UNH has had their hard work pay off for them here fairly early.
13th goal of the year for Al Arnault. That's his 29th point as he was able to slap that one past Pritchard. And we've got a 1-0 lead in favor of the Wildcats. Unassisted will be the goal. Again, the time of the goal, 9:05. 1-0 in favor of the Wildcats here in this opening period. There's a puck. There's another shot. Whistled up over the top of the goal. UNH now with a little extra pep in their step as it's going to be White right now are throwing it back down to the blue line of Utah State. And we'll see if the Aggies can shake this off and keep it a one-goal game until they can try to get the equalizer. Puck played out at center ice at the red line, now dumped into the New Hampshire end, tipped away by the goaltender Sullivan, and it's going to be rolled around the boards out to center ice and tipped right towards the goal, and it's going to be played there by Pritchard. Halfway through this opening period, 1-0 now in favor of New Hampshire. Al Arnault with the go-ahead goal. McKechnie, and we're going to get offsides as we had a little mix-up right at the New Hampshire blue line. So again, 9:56 to go here in this opening period. We've got a 1-0 hockey game now in favor of New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, I'd really be hard pressed to come up with some criticism for them in the first 10 minutes of this game so far. Utah State, I think this is going to be a immediate timeout here. There's about 10 minutes of elapsed. I would say for Utah State, and you know what, they're down by one, not a problem at all. They really just need to take some time and just regroup. It does look like they're having a bit of trouble on the breakout. Usually at the man that receives the first pass is standing still. They got to get legs moving. They fought the war and won. That's the reason they're here. Coming in as the number 3 in this and fighting their way out of the Western region to get here. So, they just got to settle down. I think UNH, from what I've seen so far, is a little bit faster. I do like that Utah State is not selective on their shots. They're just going to get shots on the goaltender. And when you do that, good things happen. So,
shots on goal, 9-4 in favor of New Hampshire here at this media timeout. As we mentioned, it was an unassisted goal by Al Arnault at 9:05, his 9th of the year, or I'm sorry, his 13th of the year, his 29th point, as the media timeout is now over. And again, New Hampshire with the 1-0 lead. Opening game of their pool play. 3 games, each team is guaranteed in pool play, as obviously your goal is to go 3-0 to make it to the Final Four, which would be on Monday evening. Face-off controlled by New Hampshire. A big hit right inside the New Hampshire blue line. Now Utah State will come up with it in their own zone. 9:45 to go, opening period, 1-0. Coming up over the line for Utah State, Lallier with it. His pocket is picked, and it's played right out at the red line again. Lallier tried to avoid a hit. Here comes Bauer. Blauer has it, rather. He tries to play it over on the right side with a long shot. Kicked away by Sullivan over in the far corner. But here comes New Hampshire. Lead pass from Mullen. Mullen comes up over the line on the right side. Centering play a little too strong. Over on the point with a drive. Over on just right of the goal. It's going to be played around the left side. Utah State trying to clear the zone. It's played in behind the goal, this time by Lallier. He's going to hold it off and hand it off, rather. Utah State will look to clear the zone. Played at the New Hampshire blue line. They just throw it back down into the Utah State end, as both teams will make a couple of changes on the fly. Under 9 minutes to go in this opening period. 1-0 our score in favor of the Aggies. There's a clearing play that took a bad bounce off the door right by the glass, and there's another big collision right in front of us. Blauer gets knocked down hard. And a couple of hits right at the blue line right in front of us. And on the other end, it's going to be Pritchard hanging on to the puck. 10th shot of the afternoon for New Hampshire. 8:33 to go here in this opening period. And it's a 10-5 shots on goal advantage, as I mentioned. 1-0 lead for New Hampshire. Al Arnault, an unassisted goal at 9:05.
And that was a real beauty as he danced right in there to the far face-off circle and was able to tuck one glove side on the goaltender, Pritchard.
Puck deflected out to center ice. Lambert has it. He's going to outlet it to Driscoll, and he's going to throw it towards the goal. And Charles Driscoll's shot will be gloved off by Coulter Pritchard again, and that'll keep the face-off deep in the Utah State end as both teams will make changes. 8:19 to go here in this opening period. 1-0 in favor of New Hampshire.
That last shot that was registered for Utah State was about their first in 4 minutes.
There's a shot. Oh, it's loose. Right at the doorstep, off the face-off. Oh, one that just whistled wide of the goal by Dylan Arnault. Well, he can't let his brother one-up him here in this early going. Puck, there's a shot. Deflected before it got to the goal. Arnault dumps it back out to the point. There's a slapper deflected. Al Arnault in behind the goal. Drop pass in behind the net. They look to set it up in behind the goal. Brian Brown has it. Plays it to Al Arnault. Played deflect over on the left side. Held in at the blue line. Lambert's shot was a seeing eye shot. Got right through to the goal post rather. And Utah State comes up with a puck, and they'll clear it out to center ice. And it's going to go off for an icing. 7:37 to go. Opening period. 1-0 New Hampshire.
New Hampshire really just sticking to the game plan. Good shots, calculated shots. Like Lou said, that puck had eyes. Did go off the left-sided leg pad there.
12 shots on goal now for New Hampshire. They win the face-off. There's one thrown to the point. Whistled wide of the goal all the way over to the far side. Reitenauer went after it. They dig away at it over in the far corner. Played out at the point. Reitenauer dumps it over in that far corner to Roberto. Roberto throws it in behind the goal. They dig at it over on the near side. Played in behind the net again. New Hampshire really applying the pressure now on Utah State as we approach the 7-minute mark here in this opening period. 1-0 in favor of the Wildcats. Puck played over in the far corner now at the point. There's one whistled in traffic. Deflected over in the near corner. They chop at it over there. It didn't get to the goal, but coming up with it for Utah State is Kirk Fleet. He tries to clear it, and now Utah State will come up with the puck, and they'll lift it out to center ice, and they'll retreat to get some fresh legs out.
Good job there by O'Brien, picking up that first pass and at least skating it out over the red line and dumping it down so they could get a clean change.
Coming up is Reitenauer. Nifty move to get up over the line. Wow, he comes in on goal with a shot. Oh, Pritchard with a save. Boy, Reitenauer with a couple of nice moves. And he was able to get to the goal, but Pritchard was equal to the challenge. Go ahead.
No, exactly right. A couple dandy moves. He was able to get in and take a shot from about 10 feet to the blocker side of the goal there.
6:35 to go in this opening period. 13-5 shots on goal advantage. There's one thrown towards the net by New Hampshire. Deflected before it got to the goal. Here come the Aggies. Blauer will dump it down into the near corner. Chasing after it will be Walton for the Aggies. They chop at it in the near corner in the New Hampshire end. And here come the Wildcats now 2-on-2 the other way. Skating it up over the line with the puck is Thompson. Throws it over in the corner. They play it now in the near corner. 6 minutes left to go in this opening period. There's a shot. Just whistled wide. A one-timer taken that time by New Hampshire. Puck played out into the neutral zone. That shot was taken by Mullen. And it's played now at center ice. Brown comes up quickly over the line. Right side with a shot. Up over the top of the goal again. That's going to go back out to center ice. New Hampshire will have to regroup. 5:40 left in this opening period now. Still a 1-0 game. Puck deflected back in the Utah State zone, and the ice definitely tilted into the direction of Utah State. Puck held in. Good play by Arnaud to hold it in, to play it in behind the goal. Centering play. That one looked like it might have hit off the goal post as well. There's one right out to the point. Played there by New Hampshire. Nice little tip play, but stolen away by Utah State. Ball's going to try to bring it up over the line. Jonathan Ball played it in the far corner, and it's going to be deflected back out to the red line. Utah State has to get onside, and now New Hampshire will play it. Outlet up over the line. Here come the Wildcats with a shot right into the glove of Pritchard as his sight line was not obstructed, and he makes his 13th save of the opening period with just under 5 to go.
Never a bad play by UNH to just get it on net. Sometimes good things happen. In this case, they were able to change 4 of the 5 on the ice. They got 4 fresh bodies out here, going to face off to the blocker side of Pritchard with 4:59 left to go.
Holmes against Cutshaw with the face-off won by Utah State, or check that, New Hampshire, but it's deflected now out to the center ice area. Quickly up into the neutral zone and over the line. Trace Farr throws it in to the New Hampshire end. Played now over on the far side. The outlet it out to center ice, but here comes Utah State. Doyle clears the zone as they try to get some type of possession of the puck in the New Hampshire end. 4.5 to go in this opening period. 1-0 in favor of the Wildcats. Holmes comes up over the line, stops, plays it over, cross pass, give and go, but a good poke check in the back end by Utah State as New Hampshire was coming in hard. Puck over on the left face-off circle. Another good check to get the puck away. Now it's dumped over in the far corner, deep in the Utah State end. 4:10 to go in the opening period. They play it now over in the far corner. It's going to be lifted out to center ice. Utah State, a couple of good defensive plays. Reitenauer will dump it down. It's deflected back into the Utah State end. They throw it around the boards. Good play by the Aggies. Deflected, and they'll clear the zone. Outlet pass. Going after it, O'Brien. O'Brien tries to go down, and we're going to get an icing call. 3:49 to go here in this opening period. Al Arnaud, the difference, 1-0 in favor of New Hampshire.
And you're not really seeing that outlet pass work too well for Utah State. I've said it twice already. I'll say it a third time. When they hit that guy along the dasher boards there, he needs to turn and wheel with that thing. If there's not a guy within stick length, he at least needs to take 2 strides towards the UNH goaltender to see. Another thing, they are really not putting a lot of pressure on the point men of UNH, and so they continuously keep the puck in this Utah State zone. And I tell you, almost 20 shots in one period against Pritchard here, as there's 3:33 left, and he's faced 14 so far.
Puck now played into the New Hampshire zone, but nothing really as far as a shot being played. They dumped it in behind the goal, but quickly New Hampshire brings it up over the line. They go play it over in the far corner. Coming up with it, though, Utah State, they're able to get out of the zone. Skating it up into the neutral zone area, bringing it up over the lineup. His pocket pick, though, that time was Keegan O'Brien. They play it out to center ice, and now it's deflected back into the Utah State zone. And now they'll regroup and try to clear the zone. They do. Oh, there's a giveaway. Here comes Dylan Arnaud, and all alone with a play, but a good poke check from behind by Utah State to thwart that giveaway and that little bit of a possible breakaway goal. Coming up over the line, Kirk Vliet with a shot that was wide of the goal. It's played in behind the New Hampshire goal. Now played by the Wildcats. They try to clear it out of the zone far, able to keep it in momentarily, and now it's played back into the neutral zone as Page tried to make a play on it. Here comes Utah State. They clear it out of the zone as we're down under 2.5 to go in the opening period. Puck cleared out to center ice, going to be played now by Utah, or check that, by New Hampshire. Big collision as Page went down, courtesy that time of Trace Farr. There's one in the slot area. Here comes Utah State, a potential odd man rush, but coming up with it, shot deflected easily by New Hampshire out to center ice. Down to 2 minutes left in this opening period. New Hampshire will regroup. They'll get a couple of fresh legs out. There's a nifty pass coming up over the line, coming in on goal on the right side. Drop pass intended this time for one of the New Hampshire players, that being Storer, played over in the far corner. 1:40 to go in this opening period. 1-0 our score. There's a play over on the far side with a shot whistled up over the top of the goal. Deflection comes all the way over to the near side by the face-off circle, lifted out to center ice, and it's going to be played deep in the New Hampshire end by Reitnauer. Reitnauer plays it out to center ice. Now with some legs, here comes Fernandez over the line with a shot, deflected over into the near corner. Played again, here comes McKechnie with a shot. There's a rebound opportunity for Utah State, but they're unable to connect with it. And here comes New Hampshire up over the line. Leon comes in on goal. We're down to 1 minute left to go in the period. 15-6, shots on goal. We're down under 1 minute to go. 1-0 as I said our score. Coming up with the puck, Holmes. Puck played out at center ice. Now it's going to be deflected into the neutral zone, and it's going to be played now by Ball. Ball has it, skates it in the neutral zone area, tries to clear it out of center ice, and it's going to be still played at the point. Throwing it towards the goal, kicked away by Sullivan. That was Doyle making the play as we're down to 30 seconds. 30 seconds left in the opening period. 1-0 our score as Utah State tries to clear the zone. Now it's played out and held on to by Pritchard as shots 16-7 in favor of New Hampshire as they've got a 1-0 lead thanks to Al Arnaud, his 13th of the year at 9:05. Face-off will be to the left of Pritchard. They hold on to it. They fight for it, actually. Arnaud with a shot. Boy, kind of a knuckler to the right side of Pritchard. 17th shot of the period. Al Arnaud again will come up with it as it's going to be played over in the far corner. And with 2 seconds left in the period, that's going to about do it. Held in at the blue line as we've got a 17-7 shots on goal advantage for Utah State. And we've got ourselves a 1-0 lead in favor of the Wildcats. Again, 9:03 Al Arnaud with the advantage, or with the goal, rather, the goal-ahead goal. And we're going to take it down to the ice as it looks like Rasty McGibbon is going to have one of the Utah State players here in between periods, as it looks like he's going to talk with O'Brien. Again, after 20 minutes of play, our score 1-0. Keegan O'Brien there with Rasty McGibbon, as hopefully we can get him for a quick interview. And go ahead, take it away, Rasty.
Keegan O'Brien, you guys with a bit of a tough first period there, outshot about 14-5. What would you like to see in the second out of your guys?
A little bit more confidence for sure. We got, quite a few rookies this year. It's their first year at Nationals, and I know they're a little bit shaky. I was my first year, so just holding on to the puck, skate it in, make a couple plays. I think we're going to do good.
One thing I noticed for some of you guys, standing still when that first outless pass coming out of your zone, is that something that you think your coach, CJ Westlake, will talk about in the room?
Absolutely. We got to move our feet. I mean, you've seen UNH, they're fast. They're small and fast, but they're not physical. We move our feet, we play the body. It's going to be a good game.
Goaltender really has been solid for you there in the first 20 minutes, letting in one on 15 or 16 shots. Speak a little bit about him and getting here through the regionals.
Oh, man. I mean, Coulter Pritchard, he stood on his head all season. Without him, no chance we're here. And that may sound a little negative, but this kid's a real deal. He's been playing for us every single night. He comes, he shows up. It's time for us to return the favor.
Thanks very much for this, and good luck in the next 40.
Of course, thank you.
Lou, now back up to you.
Thank you, Rasty. Okay, 20 minutes in the books here from the day one of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. D2, our score 1-0 in favor of New Hampshire, 17-7 shots on goal. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 12 minutes for the second period of play. You're watching the 2019 ACHA Championships on the ACHA Broadcast Network. Well, welcome back here to the ACHA Hockey Network. Day number 1 of the D2 National Championship in pool play. And after 20 minutes of play, we've got a 1-0 lead here for New Hampshire over Utah State. Shots on goal 17-7 in favor of New Hampshire. Yours truly, Lou Gamlin, along with Rasty McGibbon. And Rasty, pretty much a one-sided affair in the 20 minutes. Only one goal to show for it for New Hampshire, thanks to Al Arnault at 9:05.
And you know, New Hampshire really, I would say dollar for dollar, had more scoring chances with the 17 shots. Utah State really only with opportunities very early. Some of those that were registered as shots coming in just from dump-ins on goal from the point. Utah State really going to need to make some adjustments. For them, they need to get out of the second period at least tied and not give up any more goals. Special teams, I think, will be important for both guys. So for Utah State, stay out of the box. Same for UNH.
All right, here we go in the second period, just underway. Utah going from left to right on your computer screen in their dark blue jerseys with the white trim, and New Hampshire in their white jerseys with the kind of the greenish blue trim, if you will, as we got a 1-0 lead again for UNH, outshooting them rather, 17-7. Puck played by Al Arnault, who's got that goal, played over in the near corner. Puck loose in behind the goal. Dylan Arnault over on the left face-off circle. Passes it to his brother Al with a shot. Loose right at the doorstep. Kicked away by Coulter Pritchard. The 18th shot of the game. Lubin, he bounces the UNH player Lambert off the puck, and it's deflected out to center ice. One of the things of this game also that we can say, no penalties called in that first 20 minutes. Pretty clean game between these two squads.
Yeah, a little pushing and shoving there after a couple whistles, but I would agree, very clean so far.
Puck deflected out to center ice, and it's going to be played down in the UNH area, but it's going to be a icing call, so that'll bring the face-off back down into the Aggies' end. And we've got about 1:15 into this second period, 1-0 in favor of New Hampshire.
Okay, Lou, so I'm going to keep track. That's the first icing there with about 75 seconds into this against Utah State. So I'm going to keep track.
Reitnauer takes the shot up over the top of the goal. Rebound is loose over on right at the doorstep, and Pritchard will hang on as Reitnauer a little mustard on that one. It went up over the top of the goal. No harm, no foul. Still a 1-0 game.
And you heard Keegan there at the start of the intermission talk about the goaltender Pritchard. He also said that, he's got a fairly young team. As you look down their roster here, there are a considerable number of freshmen. Coaching staff, no stranger to these national tournaments, as Utah State has been a staple at nationals for many years.
Cutshaw will take the puck around the goal. It's loose. There's a shot. Oh, kicked wide. Rebound right in front of us, and it's going to be played in behind the goal. Puck played over on the right side. Now played in the neutral zone area. Coming up with it is McKechnie. McKechnie has it. He plays it over in the near corner. Now played right out in front with an opportunity. Oh, kicked away a wide open goal. Opportunity that time for Utah State. Putting a little pressure on, but quickly the other end. Coming down with it is New Hampshire as we're under 2 minutes into the second period, a 1-0 hockey game. Puck played over on the left side. There's a play. The net comes off its moorings. Pritchard kicks the puck away. So we get a break with 17:50 to go. Second period, a 1-0 lead still for the Wildcats.
So we're 2 minutes and 10 seconds in. UNH has registered 3 shots. Utah has registered 1. And I would say that is, and when I say unfortunately indicative, if you're a Utah State fan, if you're UNH, it seems to be business as usual is what we've seen through the first 20 minutes. Linesman there getting the net back on its moorings. Pritchard preparing for this face-off to his blocker side.
Thompson goes up against Cutshaw in the face-off. One by New Hampshire. There's one by Miele that's whistled wide. They play it over in the far corner. New Hampshire still has it. We get a stoppage of play. Looks like a hand pass called, and that's going to stop play. And the face-off will come just outside the Utah State blue line.
UNH is going to not change any bodies. The defensive pairing for Utah State is swapped out.
17:40 to go, second period. Face-off controlled by the Aggies. They win it cleanly. Farr dumps it over to the red line. Now it comes up over the line, making the play on it was Blauer. Plays it in behind the New Hampshire goal. They play it now over on the far side. Played held out at the point. There's a shot deflected and an opportunity for New Hampshire, but a couple of deflections, and it's going to be deflected right in front of us. Thompson on the near side. He's bounced off the puck. Puck played over still in the near corner, chasing after it for Utah State. They try to make a play on it, and it's going to be dumped back out to center ice. Jonathan Ball made the play on that one, and now it goes back down into the Utah State end. And I believe we're going to get an icing call on that
I think
one.
they're going to get. I think they're going to. Well, I'm not sure. There actually looks like they're going to face it off at center ice. So I'm not sure.
Confused me on that one is.
Yeah. Actually, they're having a bit of a huddle there at center ice. Two linesmen and one of the referees. So I think probably, I don't know if the whistle was blown in error.
Okay.
And you can see all the players are confused as well as they're coming from the UNH zone back out here to center ice as they're going to face it off. And we probably never will know exactly what the call is.
Kirk Bleed will take the face-off for the Aggies, and he'll go up against Brian Brown. Brown, the leading goal scorer, or leading point getter, I should say, for UNH with 45 points. Puck played out at center ice. They dump it down into the Aggie zone to the Wildcats. The Wildcats, the number 2 seed in the East-Northeast region. They were number 3 for most of the year, and right at the end, where there's a give and go one-timer. Good play that time by Keegan O'Brien, and they put a little pressure on the UNH goalie, and now here come the Wildcats. Quickly out of the zone, they bring it up over the line. Arnault with a drive deflected to the left of the goal. Now played over into the near corner. Still a 1-0 lead. And the puck is deflected now over on the right side, far side, skating with the puck in behind the goal. Dylan Arnault with it, playing it at the point. Now played at the blue line, shot deflected over in the corner. They dig away at it over in the far corner. Chopping at it was O'Brien for UNH. He's bounced off the puck. Now they play it over in the far corner. 15:58 to go here in the second period. There's a centering play. Trying to stuff it past the goaltender was Brown. Utah State comes up with it. So they weather the storm and dump it down into the UNH zone.
And, you know, one thing I'm noticing both teams is they're not doing an excellent job of putting coverage on those point men. So Utah State, if they're able to get the puck low, take advantage of those point men, the thing I've said about Utah State, and I like, they are willing to just shoot the puck on net, which you don't see, but I really do like that.
Kirk Vliet and Decker for Utah State almost had a nifty play. Decker just couldn't come up with it, as he was camped right out at the doorstep. The other way, bringing it up over the line is Brown. Brown brings it over on the left side, has the puck right at the doorstep, but his pocket is picked by Fernandez. Fernandez now to Decker. Decker with a centering play, an outlet rather, to McKechnie, and it's deflected into the the New Hampshire zone. Now skating with it with a potential huge collision was Leon, and he was bounced off the puck momentarily by Fernandez. Utah State trying to clear the zone. They do. Lead pass to McKechnie, too strong. Coming up over the line the other way. Check that Ridenauer. He throws it around the boards. Puck played here in the Utah State zone again, as Holmes will go after it in behind the Aggies goal. Nifty move by Ball. Little dipsy-do to get it away from Holmes, and now he'll keep the puck over on the left side. Another potential giveaway. So now he's having trouble getting it out of the zone.
Well, and that seemed to have been their Achilles heel so far, eh?
Yeah.
And this is just status quo. Get it up near the blue line and just flip it out. And you know what? They really got to work on that. I mean, you know, the fantastic thing about this setup, 4 minutes from now, they're going to have a media timeout.
Roberto with some nifty moves going in on goal, but his pocket picked. He tried to make a pass over to Faro. Instead, it's right over. There's a shot. Odd angle shot. Rebound is loose on the doorstep, but New Hampshire able to come up with it. Puck played over in the far corner. Roberto has it. Skates it over on the right face-off circle. Back on top to Faro. Faro now playing it over on the left side. They skate with it over there in the corner. Faro again with it. Plays a little give and go this time with Roberto, and Ball comes up with it. UNH almost looking like they're on the power play right now as it's played in the slot area. Leon went after it over in the far corner, couldn't come up with it, but still has it in behind the goal. Tries to set it up in behind the net, and it's now played over on the far side. Utah State will try to clear it. They can't. Good play by Faro to keep it in, and we'll get fresh legs for Utah or for New Hampshire.
Well, the other thing, and you made a good point, it does look like they're on the power play, and the amazing thing is that UNH is playing 3-on-5 down low as the forwards for Utah State are collapsing down to help out defensively, and they're winning the battle with basically 2 men short in the New Hampshire offensive zone.
Well, Rasty, let me ask you a quick question. It's 1-0. You're out shooting them 23-8. How long until maybe a little bit of frustration sets in on the New Hampshire side?
Oh, I don't think for New Hampshire, I don't think you're going to see frustration, because you know what? I think they got to be happy with what they've done. I think the goaltender I think he's doing his job. I think Pritchard's doing his job. I mean, as the game progresses and we start getting, 1 goal and 30 shots, I might upgrade him to hot, or as my brother would say, en fuego. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. They're digging away at it in behind the goal. They come up with it. Does Utah State. Good play to clear the zone. As Kirk Vliet went out, lets it to O'Brien. O'Brien with a nifty move. Coming in on goal with a shot. Oh, a wide open rebound, but nobody there for the Aggies. There's one from the blue line deflected before it got to the goal. UNH will come up with it, and we're going to get a whistle. And I believe we're going to get a penalty call coming up it looks like on New Hampshire.
Yeah.
First power play of the night, and that's going to go for Utah State. So here's their chance to possibly get the equalizer with the extra man.
That's pretty good. 27 minutes into this game, before we get a special teams opportunity. So I think a couple things for Utah State on this. First of all, they have to be a little bit patient, and I mean not patient in terms of shooting, but patient in terms of, for this 2 minutes or less that they're going to have, really try to keep the puck in the zone, take advantage of all 5 guys on the ice. This is not a 3-on-4 opportunity with the the centerman and the 2 wingers low.
We get an offsides shorthanded for New Hampshire. It's going to be a slashing call on Maffio. So again, the first penalty of the afternoon, as we mentioned, 27 minutes into the game, a relatively clean game, as both teams now, we'll see how they do with their special teams. Kirk Vliet will take the face-off, and he went up against Burr Brown, and it was won by Utah State. They have it out at center ice as they look to try to set up the power play. They got to get back on side. They bring it up over the line now. They look to set it up as it's going to be dropped back for Fernandez. Plays it out on top. They get a little give and go. Fernandez has it on the left face-off circle. On top with the play was Ball. There's one that whistled up over the top of the goal, and it's going to go and be cleared all the way down into the Utah State end. 1:15 left in the power play.
Yeah, and what I really want to see from Utah State is a sense of urgency, because you know what? As you can see, 27 minutes to get one extra man opportunity. This is a chance for them, and like I said, they need to get out of this period tied.
Here comes the Arnold brothers up over the line, shorthanded. Arnold coming in. There's one at the doorstep, and they score. Al Arnold gets the scraps from Dylan on a beautiful move. It's a shorthanded goal and a big break for New Hampshire as they're now up 2-0. Time of the goal, 8 minutes and 33 seconds.
Then we see the captain back there. I'm not sure who he's talking. I don't know if he's talking to the officials, but there is some concern. I don't know if they think that this goal was kicked in. You can see the referee speaking to both linesmen down there by the goaltender Pritchard. And I think that the captain is making the case that this was kicked in.
Well, Dylan Arnaud, I'll tell you what really impressed me was the speed shorthanded for UNH. They got that breakdown there. Dylan Arnaud with a couple of nifty moves. His original shot was blocked, and it was right there for the taking, and it's no goal. Good call there, Rasty. It was indeed kicked in, so let's take away the shorthanded goal, and it's still a 1-0 game. Big break there instead for Utah State.
And you know what? Really kudos to the officiating staff. And now you're going to see the referees come over and speak, which I really appreciate, to Coach Stoddard there of UNH, giving him the full explanation. As you saw, Lambert, the assistant captain for UNH, was a little slow getting out there, being part of that conversation. But I do appreciate they're coming over. They're giving the explanation to the coach. Refs in good positioning to make that call. And I'll tell you, huge break for Utah State.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage of it, because they still have the man advantage for 56 seconds, and they were kind of laps at the blue line that time. And they were lucky to get away with not giving up that goal shorthanded. And now the faceoff will be to the left of Pritchard. There's a shot off the faceoff, deflected. Now here comes Utah State. Decker will outlet it quickly, and it's a long pass over the line. And I think we're going to get an icing call coming up.
And you know what? I probably have lost count, but that's and you know what? You definitely do not want to ice the puck on a power play.
No,
absolutely. And they are now, and I'm not. I promise to you guys listening at home, I'm not trying to be super critical of Utah State. They are at least now breaking the puck outside their blue line. But when they're trying to go side to side, and and they're going 70 feet across the rink trying to hit that man shooting up the offside, it's going for icing.
Off the face-off, New Hampshire wins it. They just backtrack it out of their zone, out of the Utah State zone, eat up a little more power play time for Utah State, and dump it into the zone now. And the Aggies will come out, look to try to set the power play up with under 30 seconds left. Almost another shorthanded opportunity, and here's a giveaway. Al Arnaud skates it in behind the goal. He had his brother Dylan right there at the doorstep with him, and Pritchard will cover it up, and we get a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. Al Arnaud had his brother 2-on-1 again. A shorthanded opportunity, but Pritchard able to hang on to the puck.
One thing I would say about University of New Hampshire, I would say a little bit aggressive. I would say a little bit too aggressive when the goaltender has the puck covered. So the reaction there by Utah State is not something that's a surprise at all. So we've had about 9 minutes and 11 seconds. 25-9 are the shots. 8 shots this period for UNH and 2 shots for Utah, and Utah State is the only one that has had a special teams opportunity in this entire game coming in this period, and so far only registering 2 shots for the entire period.
Yeah, unfortunately for Utah State, UNH has had as many shots shorthanded as they've had in the period. Wraparound, there's a centering feed. Oh, it hopped over the stick of Holmes, shorthanded. But now here comes Utah State. Cutshall comes up over the line. A little drop for McKechnie. McKechnie dumps it over in the corner. Cutshall, centering play, one-timer. Oh, a golden opportunity for McKechnie. And we get a whistle. And I think we're going to get a penalty call coming up to New Hampshire. Looks like interference might be the call. So right after the power play was over, it looks like Utah State's going to get another chance. 9:36 the time of the penalty.
And you know what? There are probably a lot of people listening at home that would disagree with me. I would call a timeout. I would absolutely call a timeout right now. I would calm the guys down, and I would get them set up, because I'll tell you, these are pivotal points of the game. And, I mean, so now they've at least registered 3 shots this period. But, I mean, this is paramount for Utah State.
Lambert gets the penalty for interference. And now again, 10:20 left in the period with a shot. Oh, save made. That time by Sullivan, a blast from the blue line. So again, the second power play of the afternoon, both for Utah State. Kirk Vliet took a slam or a slapper from the blue line, and he was able to get it through, but it got deflected actually before the goal. There was not a save registered. Holmes takes the loose puck off the faceoff, but it's still held in by the Aggies. Cross-ice pass, Fernandez has it on the right point. Back out on top the ball. Ball over the left side with Kirk Vliet. Shot whiffed. Oh, UNH almost had an opportunity again, shorthanded. Played down into the far corner. Played by Lubin. Rolls it around the boards, held in at the point. And again, here's a chance. Oh, and cross-ice pass, one-timer. Big save that time by Sullivan. And it's played over in the corner, another pass over on the near side. 9:40 to go in the period. Puck in behind the goal. They play it over on top, playing it on the right side. Back to Fernandez on top again. Holmes almost got the giveaway. Playing a little risky there, but he almost came up with it. He gambled. Now here comes Fernandez. Fernandez fakes the slapper. Oh, on the left side. Drop pass. Played back out on the point. Coming up with the puck is Ball. Ball plays it over on the right side. 55 seconds left in the power play. 9:15 to go in the period. 1-0 still our score.
And I'll tell you what's so funny. For the first 30 minutes of this hockey game, Utah State has not been finicky or picky with their shots, but they are now.
looks like we may get something else called here. I didn't see what happened, but we're going to get a 5-on-3 for Utah State for 45 seconds, as it looks like it's going to be right now. We're going to the sin bin, and I think it might be a cross-check. I thought that's what I saw signaled by the referee. So we've got 9:08 to go in the second period. Utah State only down a goal. You talk about golden opportunities, Raspy. They got to really take advantage of this.
Well, yeah, and what's funny is after that play stopped, number 8, Fernandez, has gone over. He's hung off the back of the bench. He whipped his helmet off, and I don't know if he's vomiting or he got hit. I don't know. But he now is just putting his helmet back on.
Wow. Big play
No,
now.
no, he's actually still been over the bench. You can see as they come over the boards, there he is back behind. So I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Well, we've got 44 seconds left of the 5-on-3 now for Utah State, trailing 1-0. Shots on goal, 25-10 in favor of New Hampshire. Off the face-off, puck played over in the near corner. Going after it was number 43 for New Hampshire, and that, of course, was Miele. Cross-checking was the call. Ball has it. One-timer deflected, loose over on the right or left face-off circle. And now the puck is played, and it's going to be cleared down the length of the ice. Down to 20 seconds left of the 5-on-3. Pritchard will hold on to the puck as Utah State now will gain possession and try to get one last rush with the two-man advantage. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Up over the line, the Aggies have it over left face-off circle. On top, skating with the puck, Kirk Vliet, and his pocket is picked. Going after the puck is Arno. Arno tried to make a play on it. Lallier has it in the neutral zone area, and it's deflected at the blue line and cleared down the length of the ice. One penalty is over. We're down to 1:05 left in the cross-checking call to Reitenauer as Utah State tries to get something going with the extra man. Miele clears it back down into the Utah State zone. Brown will go after it for New Hampshire along with Liali. As Liali, he blew a tire over on the far side. Puck played all around the boards to O'Brien. O'Brien will skate it out to center ice. His pocket is picked. Holmes comes up over the line. He comes in on goal. His shot, though, deflected by Ball before it got there. So here comes New Hampshire with the puck over on the right side. Cross ice pass. Miele with a shot. Whistled wide of the goal. Ball has it in behind the goal. They chop at it in behind the goal as we're down to 7.5 to go in the second period. 20 minutes left in a Utah State power play. But unfortunately for them, they can't even get it out of their own zone. And there's a penalty call coming up to the Aggies, and the Bronx cheer goes up from the New Hampshire Wildcat faithful, as now we're going to get 4-on-4 for about 14 seconds.
And, you know, for Utah State, that's the worst thing you want to do is to take a penalty when you're on the power play. It has not looked great for Utah State. First, you know, they had a two-man advantage, and then that elapsed. So now we're going to see what UNH. And I think you may see a bit of a shooting gallery. It may get them up to 30 shots here, as the goaltender Pritchard really. Those guys should be going by slapping him on the pads because he has been the difference. Well, and it's so it's so interesting that when they had the puck in the zone, they're so selective with the shot, but when they're not with the extra man, you know, they just shoot it. And they're also trying these like huge wind-up slap shots where, you know what, you just got to get the puck through. Take a good wrister. Good things happen. And there's rebounds and there's traffic. So I don't know. I'm a little, I shouldn't say speechless because I'm rambling, but I don't really know what's going on there.
A little dumbfounded maybe with the attack plan as we're in our media timeout right now with 7:22 to go here in the second period. Again, the only goal scored this afternoon was in the first period. Al Arnaud at 9:05 unassisted. He had a goal taken away. They said he kicked it in when they were shorthanded on the first power play. Dylan Arnaud with a nifty couple of moves to get towards the goal. The rebound was set up on a tee right in front of the goal, but it was kicked in inadvertently. But now with the shots 25-10, it looks like we got 4-on-4, and as Raspy mentioned, this could prove to be not very good for Utah State. Off the face-off, Dylan Arnaud will circle around with the puck, cross ice to Roberto with a shot, deflected up off the safety netting, shoulder save by Pritchard, and that leaves us with 6 seconds left in the 4-on-4.
Now, you know, one thing that I have always found in the years that I have been privileged to come and participate in these national championships, you need a very active box on the penalty kill. And so we're going to see what Utah State runs, because I'll tell you, UNH is going to move the puck.
Second power play for New Hampshire. Puck held in at the blue line by Roberto. First power play of the afternoon for the Wildcats. They've got it over in the far corner. Cleared out to center, or to the slot area rather. Shot taken, deflected away by Pritchard. Played over in behind the goal. They chop at it in behind. They look to set up the power play with it up on top. Reitnauer's shot deflected over in the corner. Dylan Arnault back out to Reitnauer. Reitnauer skates with it at the blue line over to Arnault. Arnault cross-ice pass. Whiffing on it was Roberto, and it's played now over in the near corner. They dig at it over there as New Hampshire looks to set things up. Reitnauer, little give and go with Arnault. He plays it over to his brother Al. There's a centering play right out in front, and they score! No denying UNH that time. It's a power play goal, and it's going to be scored by, it looks like, number 4 for New Hampshire. That's Daniel Mullen, and that'll be his second of the year. 13:42 the time of the goal.
And it took him 1 minute and 4 seconds. During that whole time, the puck staying there in the Utah State zone. And really, the bright spot, if you were a Utah State fan, has got to be the play of the goaltender Pritchard, as he has only allowed 2 goals on 28 shots. And he definitely should be the first guy into the shower today, as he is going to deserve it.
Power play goal, 1-for-1 with the extra man. Al Arnault gets the assist on the goal, and it's now 2-0 in favor of New Hampshire. Again, the time of the goal at 16:02, and that makes it 2-0 our score now in favor of the Wildcats. And if the last thing that they need is pep in their step, if you're a Utah State Aggie fan. Puck in behind the Utah State goal. There's one almost snuffed in through the 5-hole. Pritchard has to hang on. So again, now a 2-goal advantage, a power play goal for Daniel Mullen.
And you know, you asked me a very good question there earlier about, are you going to see frustration by UNH? And I think the thing is, this is their game plan. They move the puck well. I don't think that they are overly selective at shots, but you don't hear it banging off the glass every time they shoot either, which is a really nice mix. And so for them, I think they got to be happy with where they are. And, you know, if you get this volume of shots, good things are going to happen.
Puck loose down in the UNH end as it's played in behind the boards, and now played right towards the goal, and it's going to be covered up by Sullivan. Leading the way was Scancerella for a moment for UNH. So we got 5.5 minutes left to go here in the second period. UNH up now 2-0 on Utah State. UNH, the 2 seed out of their region, the Northeast region, and in the Utah State was number 3 in the West. As Utah State, a nice story, as they were the 9 seed in their region, winning 3 games in 3 days to make it here to Dallas.
And we actually had another team from the Northeast already notch a win today.
Oh, there's a shot. Dylan Arnault, he finally gets credit. Good assist from his brother. And just like that, we've got a 3-0 lead. Time of the goal, 14 minutes and 39 seconds.
Really nice shot there as they were able to beat him high, bar down over the glove side of Pritchard.
So just a minute and 7 seconds apart on the goals. And now New Hampshire looking to put the foot on the throat, so to speak, to try to space themselves far away from Utah State.
I'm going to turn the tables on you, Lou. How long do you think before you start seeing Utah State get frustrated?
Boy, I'll tell you, it could come very quickly. That's the one thing you got to guard against, because, you know, we've talked about it. You may lose a game, but you're not exactly out of the tournament. You don't want to get beat too bad. One of the tiebreakers is the goal differential.
So every goal counts.
14:39, the time of the goal. That's the 3rd point of the night for Al Arnault. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists. And for Dylan Arnault, that will be his 14th goal of the year.
Face-off is going to come to the glove side there of Pritchard. 4:58 left to go in the second period. If you are joining us late, 3-0 in favor of UNH.
Puck played by Utah State in their own zone. Now they played out to center ice, they throw it wide of the goal, kicked away over there by Sullivan. He'll get Pritchard, and now a big collision right here, right in front of us at the blue line. Kirk Vliet will, he's still down on all fours with 4:18 to go. He'll be slow to get up, so a break in the action with 4:18 to go here in this second period. 3-0 now in favor of New Hampshire.
Kirk Vliet there favoring his right thigh. I would say I did take a first aid course a couple years back. I would say probably a lower body injury there suffered by Vliet, and we do have one of the training staff from the facility coming out as well. And here's the thing: you really don't like to see anybody down, especially on day one. Open ice hit there, and you could hear it even with the headphones on, where we are about 20 feet above the ice surface.
Josh Kirk Vliet, 33 goals on the year, 49 points, leading scorer for Utah State as they're working on that right leg. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but New Hampshire, boy, you brought up a good point earlier, Rasty, about the frustration level for New Hampshire and the lack of it. They were just patient. I really liked how they kind of wore down Utah State, and then they were able to take advantage of some opportunities, even shorthanded, to set the tone, and then when they got the power play, they just unloaded.
And one thing that has been an ongoing discussion with the brain trust of the ACHA is, how do you not have the lapse in play for the number 1 and 2 seed? And so there's been conversations ongoing about should they have to play through regionals and maybe get a bye for the first 1 or 2 rounds, but still be able to play. And Kirk Vliet's going to try to get to his feet, and he is going to go off with assistance. He is getting some movement in his right leg, which is good to see.
That's good.
And I hope they get him a bit of a massage there on that right side, and hopefully they can get him back in. A lot of frustration there by the coaching staff when he went down. And I don't know if they felt that was an open ice hit that should have been called, but he's definitely in a lot of pain sitting there on that far end of the bench.
It didn't look like anything malicious on that hit.
No, I don't think so either. I definitely don't think so.
Well, the face-off will come just outside the UNH blue line with the stoppage of play, and a tough blow for Utah State with the injury to their leading scorer. And it looks like they're going to be calling something here, and I don't know. You can actually see one of the referees over talking there to number 26, which is Dan Reitnauer. And I don't know if he's just trying to get an explanation of what happened there. Kirk Vliet, are they going to be? I'm not sure. Yeah, and they have. Yeah, it is Reitnauer, and he is. He's going to be penalized for this hit. I don't know. There's 0 up on the penalty clock. He's going to get a major for this one. 5 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't, from what I saw, wow. I guess I took my eye off the play. I thought I saw the collision, but apparently I didn't, because all of a sudden they've got 5 minutes on the board for Reitnauer, and an opportunity for Utah State to try to claw their way back into this one, down 3-0.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say about this officiating staff, one of the officials over talking to the captain, Brian Brown, the other official going over and talking to the head coach, Cam Stoddard. Stoddard still throwing his hands up in a bit of disbelief. Over on the bench there, you can see the injured player with his helmet off, trying to stretch that quad muscle out there with that newly acquired lower body injury. And, it'll be interesting to see what Utah State's able to mount. I mean, it could not really come at a better time, as they're in a pretty deep hole here, 3-0.
Kneeing the call, and so they're going to give him a 5-minute major for that one. Brown won the face-off. Cutshall got the puck right by the slot area and took the shot towards the goal, and Sullivan was able to make the save. So a big opportunity for Utah State if they want to get back into this one. They'll get a power play that will leak into the third period, down 3-0. So let's see if they can get anything started on this 5-minute major power play. here in the second period.
So, you know, when back in the day when I used to coach, I found if I gave more than 3 points, they lost it all, okay? So here are my 3 points. 1, shots. They need volume of shots, okay? Number 2, shots got to be on net. Number 3, they really, I mean, the defensemen almost need to start pinching. And if the far side defenseman that's on the off side of the play sees the near side defenseman going down to get that puck, he's got to come back to the red line to cover, because you've seen the ability of UNH shorthanded, and they scored. It was called back, but they did score there. So I think those are my 3 points for Utah State. Shots got to be on net, and back coverage if the defensemen are going to pinch.
Off the face-off, they did Utah State did get a shot on that last series, and the face-off was to the left of Sullivan. But now here comes a breakaway opportunity. Al Arnaud trying to make a play, but a good play on defense by Ball to get back for the back check for Utah State. So we're down to 4:08 left in the major, 3 1/4 to go here in the second period. 3-0 our score in favor of New Hampshire. They're going to play it around in behind the goal. Now it's played back behind the goal by New Hampshire as they try to clear the zone. Playing it back there was Nicholas Miele as we get a stoppage of play. 3:09 to go here in the second period. 3:52 left in the major to Reidenauer, and we got a 3-0 lead for New Hampshire.
And you see number 23 over there, Josh Kirkvalet, who now has his helmet back on, and he, I think, is trying to stretch that leg out. But it looks like he may be making a return soon, which would be something great to see.
Oh, there's one kicked away by Sullivan that got through the traffic, if you will, and that'll the deflection went out of play into the safety netting, and so it looks like this faceoff may come outside the New Hampshire blue line. Indeed, it will. So a break for the Wildcats rather, as the play will be out of their zone. 3:02 to go here in the second period. 3-0 our score off the faceoff. Puck dumped in behind the UNH goal. They chop away at it. Going after it was Blauer for UNH. It's played over on the right side. Now on top with it. There's a shot. Deflected right out in front. Played over in the corner. Going after it, Decker. Decker back on top. There's another shot. Oh, it's loose at the doorstep. Sullivan couldn't come up where he lost the puck.
But you know what? I like what I see. They're not terribly selective. They're taking the shot from the center of the blue line, and you know what? The pucks are getting through.
2.5 to go in the period. Now leading the way is Farr. He'll bring it up into the neutral zone area, dumps it off over to Doucet. They played over in the corner, and it's deflected back down into the Utah State zone with now 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the period. 3-0 our score.
So, you know, to use an old expression, I don't have a dog in the fight. But for Utah State, I hope that this opportunity does give them a bit more confidence, and it's something that they can build on. You know, for UNH, I don't know. I don't know how much I agree with that kneeing call. It looked pretty clean from here. Thank goodness Kirkvalet is back, and he's actually on the ice right now. And so far, UNH able to kill this one off about halfway through so far.
Minute 35 left to go in the period. 2:14 in the major, and it's dumped back down into the Utah State end. One shot on this 5-minute major so far for Utah State. They try to claw their way back in, trailing 3-0. 2 second period goals has kind of broke this one open for the Wildcats, as the puck is now played into the neutral zone area, as we've got about 1:08 to go here in the second period. Puck played now deep in the New Hampshire end, as we've got 1 minute left to go in the period. Ball plays it over on the left side. Little give and go with Valit. Now back over. Kirk Valit has it over. Throws it down into the corner. Now it rolls in behind the goal. Now played over in the far corner, the near corner. 45 seconds left. We've got in the period 3-0 our score, and it's cleared by the Wildcats down into the Utah State zone. 35 seconds left in the period. Shots on goal, 33-17 in favor of New Hampshire. Ball takes it in behind his own goal. Pressure by Brown. Good play to get the pressure on deep in the Utah State zone. Down to 20 seconds. Oh, a dangerous pass. Holmes with a shot. Deflected wide by by Pritchard. Played now deep in the Utah State end. Utah State trying to get it out of their zone. Down to 10 seconds left in the period. Now puck deflected over on the far side. Played over there by Utah State. 3 seconds left. And that's going to about do it here for the second period of play. 2 second period goals by New Hampshire has kind of broken this one open. First goal at 13:32. Daniel Mullen, his 20th of the year. And the assist went to Al Arnault. And then at 14:39, the goal played by the next goal by Dylan Arnault at 14:39 has given New Hampshire a 3-0 lead. Now let's go down to Rasty McGibbon with the New Hampshire players.
Rasty McGibbon with Al Arnault, you guys with a commanding lead after 40 minutes. Tell me a little bit about what the game plan was coming into this one for you guys.
We just wanted to start it off and just see what they were about first period, and then after this first period, we knew we had them. I think we just had to come on the second harder, put pressure on them. That was our game plan.
Looking down, you've been able to mount 34 shots in 2 periods, which is not too shabby. Are you a team that shoots a lot, or is that a lot for you guys after 2?
I think that was a little bit, not all year, but we came into this. Anything can happen here. We just got to keep throwing pucks in the net, and if they go, they go. We just got to keep throwing them in net.
One thing that we've seen with teams that have gotten a bye through regionals, they come in and sometimes look a little rusty just because, they've had so much time off. You guys don't look rusty. How much time have you had off, and what have you done to prepare for this game?
I don't know how much we've had off. It's been a while.
A month?
A month, something like that. Yeah. But coach really stressed. Got to come out hard. I know we've been off for a while, but we can't take any team lightly. And yeah, we've just been working hard at practice and making sure to keep our conditioning up and stuff like that.
Up where we were, we weren't able to hear the official call on that shorthanded goal that got waved off. What did they tell you on that one?
I'm not really sure what the call was. I thought it was a good goal, but it is what it is.
How is it playing with your brother?
It's a good time. We've been playing together for my whole life, so we have a good connection, and it's a good time.
Well, congratulations on 40 minutes of good hockey. Good luck in the next 20, and thanks for this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Lou, now we send it back up to you.
All right, Rasty, thank you very much. And thanks to Al Arnault with the shot, or with the in-between period talk with Rasty McGibbon. 40 minutes in the books. Our score, 3-0, New Hampshire on top of Utah State. You're watching the ACHA 2019 National Championships here on the ACHA Broadcast Network.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Well, welcome back to the ACHA Hockey Network. 40 minutes into the books, and we've got ourselves a 3-0 lead now for New Hampshire after 40 minutes. 2 second period goals. Daniel Mullen off an assist from Al Arnaud at 13:32. And then on the power play, Dylan Arnaud at 14:39 with an assist from Al Arnaud. And Rasty, a 3-0 lead for New Hampshire. If you're Utah State, you get the man advantage for 42 seconds. But what would the head coach be telling his players for Utah State going into this third period?
Well, I really think he cannot focus on the fact that they have a man advantage, and some people out there probably would strongly disagree with me. I think they've got to get to what has made them successful this year. Probably this year they have not been as successful as years previous, as they were the ninth in their region, able to to sneak in here. But yeah, I think they really have got to win this period. And if you look at hockey as a game of three smaller period games, Utah State has got to win this period. They may not win the game, but they got to win this period and build. And I would say, only for brief moments have they had times of brilliance throughout the first 40 minutes.
Holmes, shorthanded, took a feed down and tried to make it a 4-0 game on the other end, but then Utah State on the power play threw one in towards Sullivan. He was able to stop it and hang on. So we're 37 seconds into this third period. 3-0 New Hampshire on top, looking to get that first win in pool play here in 2019 at the national tournament.
So so far so good for teams from the north, from the Northeast region. Northeastern winning quite handily today over Penn State, and I am going to go out on a limb that's pretty strong and not too long and say that UNH probably will roll through this one. So that's two teams from the Northeast with a good showing with those teams coming through.
Up over the line, coming in towards the goal is Thompson. He tried to drop one off, and we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage of play with 19:10 to go here in regulation time and a 3-0 lead. Looks like we might get a penalty call coming up to Utah State.
Yeah, going to get two for a hook.
Heading towards the box is going to be Ball. You're right. And on the other rink right now, a little bit of a surprise. Cincinnati ahead of Lindenwood, 3-1, I believe, in the second period, just about to end over there. So Lindenwood, the 2 seed, Cincinnati, the 3 seed in that matchup.
And we start to see some of the NC State jerseys there in the lobby. And I tell you, the first year I was ever involved in one of these national championships was 2005. And to my recollection, the first time that I've seen NC State at a national championship in that time frame. So that is super exciting. And I think they knocked off a kind of a perennial Liberty University men's D2 program in regionals to get here. So excellent job by them, and glad to have them. And that's going to be a good game over on the other rink starting at 4 p.m.
Well, one of the things on my radio show on Tuesday nights that I do, I picked them as my sleeper in Division II. They were an 8th seed, undefeated through the season, and they took on a Liberty team that a lot of people thought that NC State was a decided underdog, and they proved their mettle and won that region, and now they get the trip to nationals. Oh, a big collision right at the blue line. Brown will throw it into the Utah State end. 1:05 left in the power play for UNH. 2 minutes about gone in this third period of a 3-0 hockey game. Brown takes the puck at center ice. He'll drop it off to Leone. Leone has it deep in the Utah State end. Played over on the left side. Now puck held in at the point. Reitenauer's shot. It's blocked. It's loose right at the doorstep. Still there. And Pritchard trying to make a stop on it. Finally, it's deflected over in the corner. Held in at the blue line with a shot. Deflected right out in front. Still there. Utah State will finally clear it the length of the ice.
Fantastic job by Pritchard there. Fantastic job as he made a save even on his back. And we got about 17:33 left to go and 21 left in the man advantage to UNH.
Puck coming up over the blue line, deflected there. UNH will come back with it. Dylan Arnaud has the puck over to Reitenauer. Reitenauer over on the right side, plays the puck back out on top. A little give and go over here as they look to make a play on it. Now to 5 seconds left in the power play. Puck played in behind the goal. Both teams now at full strength. 36-18 shots on goal. There's one loose at the doorstep. And we're going to get an icing call on Utah State as they look to stem it. No, they're going to behind that UNH goal. Puck deflected out to center ice and playing it now Fernandez. He skates with it, he backtracks with it, tries to make a play on it. And Lallier goes after it, and he avoids a crushing hit. Ridenauer, who got up slow, didn't show any ill effects of that one. Coming in on goal with a play. Oh, a good poke check right at the last second. And, another goal, almost. And then another big play, and it's deflected off the safety netting. So UNH really putting the full court press on, if you will, up 3-0 in the third period.
And, really the reason that this is still a 3-0 game with 38 shots notched is the play of Coulter Pritchard. And, when we spoke there with Keegan O'Brien at the first intermission, he talked and alluded briefly to how valuable an asset he has been for this Aggie team, and we're definitely seeing evidence of that today.
Face-off won cleanly by UNH, and a shot towards the goal taken that time by Joseph Page that got through and kicked away by Pritchard. Puck still down in the Utah State end, and we're going to get no icing, and it looked like we could have got a penalty call. I know the UNH faithful wanted one. Looked like they probably had it right.
The local chapter of off-ice officials wanted one, yeah.
The 500 that paid officials that got in, or that paid to get in, rather, didn't like that call. Doyle holds it in at the point, throws it over into the far corner, and the puck is held on to by Sullivan as 15:39 to go in this third period with a 3-0 game. And Rasty, it's easy to joke about it when your team's up 3-0. You can kind of shrug off a call you think didn't go your way.
Well, and I think you're 100% right. And there probably still is a little bit of pinging and stinging about that major that was called. And we had a little bit of conversation, Lou and myself, at the intermission. And, it was not called immediately, really, after conference. And,
well, Leon showed a speed, and he just slapped a wrister by Pritchard. Time of the goal, 4 minutes and 29 seconds. And just like that, it is 4-0 in favor of UNH.
And that was a nice single-man effort there. I think, was that Leon, you say?
Yes, it was.
Leon coming down this near wing, and he was able to snap one just over the shoulder on the far side, and it was in and down pretty quick, 4-0. And you know what? If you kind of take the average of one goal every 10 shots, we got 40 shots right now by UNH, and so their patience continues to pay off. I mean, as they really didn't get their second goal, I think we had about 28 shots at that point, didn't we, Lou?
That's right. Holmes gets one of the helpers on that goal by Leone. That's going to be his 7th of the year. Roberto and also getting the other helper, as I mentioned. Right now, we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. I believe we're going to get a penalty call coming up as we've got 15:01 to go, regulation time. Things starting to get a little bit ugly now with a 4-0 lead for New Hampshire.
And he's going to get two. I mean, I really wonder if that was equal in comparison to what got the 5 minute, except the UNH guy was not injured.
O'Brien's going to go to the penalty box, so that'll bring the face-off down into the Utah State end. And you brought up a good point in the second period, Rasty, about the possibility of frustration starting to set in for Utah State, now finding themselves down 4 goals.
But, my good point was brought up by your first good point.
Well, there we go. We're a team, man.
But, and you know what? On day one, you got to just stay the course. You can't get frustrated. You can't get guys out on DQs or doing stupid stuff. And, when you always have to look at these games as they are going to go to a tiebreaker. And so every goal matters. And so some people say, hey, UNH is running up the score, which I don't think is the case at all.
No.
But, goal differential gets in. Head-to-head gets in. And as the days progress, we will talk more about those things.
14:35 to go, regulation time, a minute 33 in the O'Brien penalty as UNH is on the power play. And that one hopped over the stick, it looked like, of one of the New Hampshire players, that being Matt Lambert, and it's going to be played down into the Utah State end now as they quickly get it back down, trying to set the power play back up.
You know, one thing that
Pritchard's down on all fours. Oh, kicked away at the last second. Lambert with the shot, played out to the blue line. Now it's going to be played out to center ice as UNH tries to regroup on the power play with 43 seconds left and 13:40 in regulation time with a 4-0 lead for the Wildcats.
35 seconds of the man advantage for UNH, and they are just piling the shots on as they have risen their tally up to 42 with 13:25 left to go.
Boy, they dig it away, dig at it over in the near corner, and the puck is played all the way down the ice, and it's going to be held on to or just stopped by by Al Arnaud deep in the New Hampshire end. Puck still down in the Utah State end as the power play is over for the Wildcats. There's a centering play, and it's going to be played over in the far corner. 12:55 to go in the third period, 4-0 our score. There's a puck over in the far corner. Play going after it for Utah State, trying to make a play on it was Hunter Doyle, as it's still played over in the near corner. Puck held out to center ice. Faro will dump it back into the Utah State end as we're down to 12.5 to go in this third period of a 4-0 hockey game. Playing it with a centering pass. Dylan Arnaud tried to center it, and here's a breakaway opportunity for Utah State with a shot. Big save by Brendan Sullivan. Going in was Drew Decker looking for his 11th goal of the year, but Sullivan is still playing for the shutout as Utah State trying to get something going here with 12:05 left in the game.
Some brief glimpses of scoring chances there by Utah State. They've been able to get up to 20 shots on goal, which they only had 7 in the first period. So they're getting there slowly but surely.
Puck played deep in the far end by New Hampshire. Going after the puck is Mullen. Mullen, who's got one of the goals here this afternoon. Puck played out to center ice, 2-on-2 the other way. Coming up over the line, O'Brien with a shot deflected over in the corner. Comes up with his own rebound, drops it off to Kutchell. There's a streaking Kirk Valit coming out, and he couldn't quite get to the puck. Actually, yes, it was Kirk Valit coming, or Maximus, one of them anyways, from Utah State. Played out at the blue line, and finally played by Utah State again. Masiunas with it now, over on the far side, comes in on goal, tries maybe to do a wraparound, still has the puck, he'll drop it back over in the corner. They dig away at it over there, it's right at the doorstep. Masiunas tried to make a play on it, now coming up with it is New Hampshire. 10:50 to go in this third period of a 4-0 hockey game. Puck deflected over in the corner, Fernandez will go after it for Utah State as they look for their next rush. Puck played out to center ice, deflected off the stick of Walton. Walton plays it out to center ice again, and it's going to be thrown in behind the Utah State goal. 10.5 to go, regulation time, 4-0 our score. Puck played out at center ice, and it's going to be played back there by the New Hampshire number 43. That's Nicholas Miele. Played into the zone now, coming in on goal. Drop pass, nobody home right in the slot area, and it's going to be played in the neutral zone area by the Wildcats, and now they dump it back in the Utah State zone. Ball tries to make a play on it on his own end. There's a giveaway with a shot deflected up into the safety netting. Taken that time by Charles Driscoll, and we get a stoppage of play. 10:03 to go here in this third period, 4-0 in favor of New Hampshire.
I think if you're the head coach, Cam Stoddard of New Hampshire, I think you got to be pretty satisfied with the way your guys have played. I'm not someone that normally is critical of referees. I'm not going to start now. I would say that the major penalty was a questionable call, but I would say his guys have showed really good composure. I think there have been a couple opportunities in front of the net where there's some, pushing and shoving going on. They really haven't bought into that. And, I think they've stuck to the game plan. And for day one, especially for a team that's been off there for at least a month, not bad.
What I like, Rasky, too, is how they take their calculated risks on the defensive end, especially when they were shorthanded. Really, really impressive, shows their confidence that they have in their game. Puck played in the near corner now with 9:25 to go in regulation time of a 4-0 lead. 43-22 shots on goal in favor of New Hampshire. Puck played out at center ice, hauled down. That time was Dagan Walton. No call on the play. Puck played out at center ice. They're going to wave off the icing as Lambert will go after it in behind his own goal. Puck played in the New Hampshire end as we're down to 9 minutes left to go in this third period. Again, a 4-0 hockey game. Puck played out to center ice. Going after it is New Hampshire going after the play that time. Number 25, Brian DiCristofaro. There's a name we haven't mentioned here yet tonight. There's one right at the doorstep. And Pritchard will make the play. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle. A little bit of frustration and a little bit of protecting your goalie. 8:44 to go. We're going to get our media timeout. 4-0 our score. UNH on top of Utah State.
I wish we had a replay of that one by Pritchard as he went out to dive out onto his stomach to cover the puck, and the puck was able to squeak through on his right side and eventually rolling over on his back. And I think trapping that puck somewhere in his upper back area, almost under the nameplate, as when he rolled over, that's where it was, still there in the blue ice. But excellent job by Pritchard. And you know what? He has given them the chance to win.
Yes, he has.
I mean, he's let in 4 goals on 44 shots, which I'm going to tell you, I mean, even with their way they're going, I would definitely give him the 3rd star of the game. I mean, you know, I think he has been that good. Sullivan has not played bad. He has not had the work, and I think some of the volume of shots that Sullivan have seen have not been as much of a scoring risk as what Pritchard has seen. I mean, he's been down there in a shooting gallery. So
that's a great point, Rasty. They've been taking a lot of shots from the point, and I would say 80 to 90% of the shots that Sullivan has faced, he's had a clear vision of the puck. They haven't been able to really clog the zone or clog the slot area to distract him, to maybe try to push one by him.
I would really say that their only sustained time in the UNH zone has been when they're on a special team opportunity.
Well, the face-off is going to be down in the Utah State end with 8:44 to go. Media timeout is over. UNH looking to get their first win here in the pool play here on this Friday afternoon. There's a shot deflected off the board to the side of the net. They dig away at it. Finally, Pritchard says, I got to cover this up before something disastrous happens, and that'll keep the face-off deep in the Utah State end with 8:38 to go here in regulation time.
And, you know, I think, you know, we were talking a little bit about, and we see one of the coaches down talking to the other goaltender there for Utah State, and I don't really know what the significance of that is. I don't think in any way that he should consider a goaltending change. But, you know, when at the first intermission there, when I had the chance to speak with Keegan O'Brien, he talked about these young guys. And you know what? You can't put a value on just the experience for these freshman players to be in a national tournament. It's important.
Here coming up over the line, Utah State trying to make a play on it with an odd-angled shot. Puck still behind the goal. Making the shot that time was Drew Decker for Utah State. Comes back out to center ice. McKechnie backtracks with the puck. Now it's played by Mullen. Mullen comes up over the line, and we get offsides. UNH a little anxious with 8:16 to go here in this third period. Comfortably ahead, 4-0.
And you know, small things accumulate over time. And what I'm seeing from Utah State, there is not the end goal. I think for them has got to be to get the puck in behind the goaltender, Sullivan. Okay, and you will see they'll have the puck near the red line, and they play it all the way back to the defenseman inside their own defensive zone to try to come out with it again. And I think they got to stop that.
The puck is loose in behind the Utah State goal after the face-off. New Hampshire will hang on to the puck. They play it in behind the goal. It's played over there on the right side. Now it's going to be lifted out to center ice. Ridenauer plays it right there. And now here comes a little giveaway coming up over the line. Masanius plays it, deflected wide over into the far corner. Now here comes Mullen, one-on-one the other way. Comes up over the line. Oh, and he tried to make a move, but he outsmarted himself that time, as coming up with it over the line the other way is O'Brien. O'Brien tries a backhand play. Couldn't get the puck past the goaltender or towards Sullivan. Here comes UNH the other way, but instead it's kicked out to center ice. O'Brien will come up with the puck. Boy, another play you just mentioned where they just backtracked with it instead of trying to make the play towards the net.
Yeah, and I've seen it so consistently. I've got to think that that's part of the program, and I guess I don't understand.
7:26 to go here in regulation time. The face-off will be at center ice, right on the Star logo here in Dallas, or Plano, if you will. Off the face-off, it's controlled by New Hampshire. They bring it up over the zone into the corner. Now in behind the goal, they skated around the right side. 7:13 to go in this third period. The puck played over there. They dig away at it and trying to come up with the loose puck over in the corner. Finally, Utah State comes up with it momentarily, but then it's held in by Leone. He throws it into the near corner, rolls around the boards. Now over to the far side. Fernandez tries to make a play on it for Utah State. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third period of a 4-0 hockey game. Holmes will come up with it. He passes it up over the line. Roberto over the right side. Comes in on goal. Kicked away by Pritchard. He gets his own rebound, and it's going to be tipped and go right into the trapper, Pritchard. He'll hang on for his 43rd save out of 47 to keep it a 4-0 lead.
And, you know, I'm going to take this time to just throw a couple shout-outs. I want to thank the ACHA treasurer, Jimmy Martin, for working the camera for us. Also the director of hockey operations, Mo Stremmel, who has stepped up. And, you know, that's a great thing about these national tournaments. It's kind of like these are all the things that have to be done before we go live, you know, this morning with the first broadcast. And everybody pitches in, and it's great to work with a group of people like that. And so my thanks to those guys to my right who are running cameras so that you guys at home can enjoy this. And, you know, something that's been important to the league for the last couple of years is to be able to bring this to you streaming. I can remember years previously that it was kind of like a pay-per-feed, pay-per-view, however you want to do it. And so also the guys with U-Vision there from University of Utah, they just did an incredible job, and it just keeps getting better every year. So really, you know, my appreciation to all those guys for just doing what they do and doing it well. And
you got a lot of folks, this is a hobby for them. A lot of folks taking time out of their regular lives and regular jobs, and, you know, you can tell it's a family atmosphere with those of us behind the scenes, you know, not just in front of the camera. There's one from the slot area on the upper part of the slot. That's Matt Lambert, and that makes it 5-0, a one-timer. Time of the goal, 13 minutes and 56 seconds.
And that was a nice snap from right in the ACHA logo there, about 2 feet inside the blue line, and he was able to beat Pritchard high glove side. And that was the 48th or 49th shot registered by UNH.
7th goal of the year for Lambert, and it makes it a 5-0 game now as we approach the 6-minute mark left in this third period. Dylan Arnault with his second point of the night. He's now got 1 goal and 1 assist. Lambert with the goal, and it's now 5-0 in favor of UNH with 5:40 to go here in this third period. Lambert will hold it in at the blue line, throw it towards the net, and Arnault will take the deflection, bring it out on top. There's the shot, whistled behind the goal. Utah State comes up with possession. They got to try to clear the zone. Lambert with a nice play there to keep it in the zone for UNH. Under 5.5 to go now in this third period.
And, you know, I really am glad that there has not been a visible demonstration of frustration by Utah State. And you know, I think there could be.
Oh, exactly. You know, when you're down 5 goals, you know, and it looks like it's slipping away, you take that little extra shot, you might take it the wrong way, and the retaliatory punch or slash or whatever. Utah State, as they look to regroup, see if they can maybe get a goal here by the end of the game just to get a little bit of momentum to carry into tomorrow. Puck fought for. There's a shot by Page right into the bread basket. That'll be the 50th shot of the afternoon for New Hampshire. And with 4:59 to go, it's still 5-0 New Hampshire.
So, you know, I think this one has kind of been in the books for a little while. for UNH, it would be very hard to really give them much criticism at all. I think that they were definitely the superior club. I think that their game plan was executed much better than probably what you would see from Utah State.
There's one, and that's what we just said that they needed. Nice feed, a one-timer, and Doyle gets on the scoreboard for Utah State. They got some traffic in front of Sullivan, and it's 5-1 now in favor of UNH.
I think, moving forward to tomorrow, Utah State is going to have all afternoon to, talk about this and put it together. I think one thing is the defensemen, when they pick the puck up below their own goal line, they got to start they got to start moving it out and getting that dynamic in motion so that they open up those passing lanes. I think the number of icings and the number of intercepted passes after it goes to that man on the hash marks, they got to do something about that. And I think just don't be so selective on shots on the extra man opportunity.
Walton will get credit for the assist on that goal. It's a nice pass, and a one-timer by Doyle at 15-17 has given Utah State their first goal of the afternoon, trailing 5-1. And we get a whistle away from the play with 4:15 to go in regulation time, and a 5-1 hockey game. And we're going to get Walton, it looks like, going to the penalty box for another power play opportunity for the Wildcats.
I think they got him for a hold there with about 4:15 left to go in the third. And that puck is going to come down 30 feet to the blocker side of the man that probably has seen the most action today, Coulter Pritchard, the Juneau, Alaska native.
45 saves for him here this afternoon. He's played yeoman's work, definitely. Lambert has it out at the point on the power play, and he drops it off. They look to play over on the right side with the puck over there is Brian Brown.
And the referee was helping out with the cycle there.
Puck in behind the goal. Now they wheel it right back out to the left face-off circle. There's an odd-angled shot, and Brown one-times it. Top shelf. Second power play goal of the afternoon for New Hampshire, and it's back to a 5-goal deficit for the Aggies as it's now 6-1 New Hampshire.
I think if you're a New Hampshire fan, one thing that you have to be happy about, one is the execution. Secondly, the patience that they're demonstrating on that power play. They don't seem to be in a rush or a sense of urgency. They execute. They move the puck around to open those lanes. And really not a high percentage shot, as he was really just a little bit there down near the bottom of the circle, just above the goal line. But he was able to beat Coulter Pritchard there for number 6 on 51 shots.
Brian Brown, that's his 14th of the year, and it's now 6-1 in favor of New Hampshire. Lambert gets one of the helpers on that goal. So with 3:32 left to go here in regulation time, it's back up now to a 6-1 lead. Second power play goal of the afternoon for New Hampshire. Face-off, Holmes will take the face-off. He'll go up against Drew Decker. Now they're going to wave Holmes out of the face-off circle, and they're going to bring in number 9, Roberto, thank you for the face-off, controlled by New Hampshire as they play it into the Utah State zone. 3.5 to go here in this third period. Again, a 6-1 hockey game. 51-26 shot on goal advantage for New Hampshire. Puck played in behind the Utah State goal.
And see, in that scenario, I want him to skate.
Just about 3 minutes left in this third period. They dig away at it here over in the far end. As now, if you're New Hampshire, you just want to keep it clean, stay away from the injury bug here with under 3 minutes to go, and now turn your attention to tomorrow afternoon. New Hampshire plays the puck out of their zone, out to center ice, quickly slapped back into the zone by Cutshall, threw it towards Sullivan, and now we're down to 2:40 left to go in this third period. 1-0 after 1 turned into 3-0 after 2, and it's now 6-1 in favor of New Hampshire as we're down to 2.5 left to go in this third period. Skating with the puck as Lallier brings it up over the line. Thompson tries to smack it away from him. They dig away at it right in front of us in the near corner as we're down to 2:15 to go here in this third period. Potential giveaway with a shot. Oh, Sullivan hangs on. Blauer came in with a nifty shot on the odd angle, but it was held on to by Sullivan, his 27th save of the afternoon.
And I'll tell you something, the goaltender Sullivan's a big boy there. I mean, I'm tall. I should probably.
He's tall, right?
Yeah, no, he's tall. I mean, the crossbar hits him in the middle of the numbers up his back, so he's probably at least. I'm going to say he's over 6 foot, maybe 6'2". So when he gets down in that popular butterfly position, there's not a lot of net up high to even look at, and he just got down there, took it right off the UNH crest, right in his chest, and it was into the netting.
Under 2 minutes to go here in this third period. New Hampshire comfortably on top, 6-1. Mullen brings it up over the line, blows a tire as he plays over on the left side. There's a shot deflected high in the air, and I believe we're going to get it played with a high stick, as the face-off now will be played deep in the Utah State end with 1:43 to go here in this third period. Again, a 6-1 hockey game in favor of New Hampshire.
And I'm glad that Utah State has. I'm sure they're frustrated. I'm sure they're frustrated. They battled hard to get through the regionals, and they being a number 9 seed, were probably not someone that was initially expected just based on numbers to come out. They battled hard, they played hard, and they got through regionals. But I'm glad that they're not manifesting their frustration on the ice.
Puck played over in the far corner with 1.5 minutes left to go in the third period. 6-1 our score. They dig away at it over in the far corner. New Hampshire just running a couple of plays, if you will. Cycling it over now to the near side. Arnaud plays it, Dylan Arnaud that is, over to Farrell. Farrell over on the far side to Al Arnaud. Al with 3 points here this afternoon for New Hampshire, as we're getting down to 65 seconds left to go here in this contest, as we've got now a 6-1 hockey game in favor of New Hampshire, as they look to wrap things up here with 55 seconds left in the third period, as now the puck played out on top. It's going to be deflected all the way down to the New Hampshire end with under 1 minute to go here in this third period. Again, our score 6-1 in favor of New Hampshire, as they will look to play their next game tomorrow afternoon to try to go 2-0 in pool play. And again, we've talked about it. It's a huge advantage to get that opening win. With tiebreakers and whatnot, you don't want to worry about those, as in our opening game this afternoon with Trine and Northern Colorado playing an extra 10 minutes of hockey to not be able to determine a winner. So they both get 1 point. So 2 points for New Hampshire goes a long way in their region, or their pool rather. Down under 30 seconds left to go here in the third period. Again, 6-1 our score, as we are wrapping things up here with the puck deep in the New Hampshire and a centering play. And it goes through about 4 wickets, if you will. Doyle holds it in, throws it high towards the net. There's one right out in front, deflected away, down under 10 seconds left to go here in this third period. And that's going to about do it here in this game, New Hampshire and Utah State. And the buzzer sounds, and our final score, New Hampshire with a convincing 6-1 victory over the Aggies of Utah State. Third period scoring for Utah State, for New Hampshire, Robert Leone at 4:29. Also, Matt Lambert at 13:56 made it 5-0. And then Doyle got the only goal, his 4th of the year for Utah State, at 15:17. And then at 16:12, we had the power play goal by Brian Brown, his 14th of the year, and that makes our score 6-1. Final shots on goal, 54-28 in favor of New Hampshire, and our final score again 6-1. And we've got Rusty McGibbon's going to get a word with one of the coaches for New Hampshire here as soon as they go through what I think is one of the best best traditions in all of sport, the handshake line that you see all the time in hockey. You can have teams that are just duking it out literally till the end, and they are always out to shake hands here at the end of the game. So if you're Utah State, they'll have to regroup, still with an opportunity. They're not by all means out of the chance to go to the to the semifinals, but a long road to hoe for New Hampshire, a big win for them as they look to go back for day 2 with a record of 1-0. Right now, we will go down to center ice momentarily with Rasty McGibbon as the two head coaches kind of speaking to each other at center ice, talking about the events of the game. As we've still got 4 more games this afternoon on day 1 of the D2 pool play, as the next games will be at 4 and 4:30, then I believe at 7 and 7:30 respectively. So don't go anywhere. Some great action here at Plano, Texas with the 2019 ACHA Division II National Tournament. So again, our final score here this afternoon, 6-1, as we will now go to Rasty McGibbon, and he will have one of the coaches for University of New Hampshire.
Rasty McGibbon with UNH head coach Cam Stoddard. Cam, I'm going to ask you what your secret is. Historically, teams have been off for a month, 5-6 weeks, have come in, and really the first period they're very flat. Your guys came right out of the chute, shooting and skating very well. What's your secret?
I trust the boys. We have a system. We stick to it. Before the game, I said, go out there, have fun. That's when you guys play your best hockey, and it's exactly what they did. We haven't played in 3 weeks, so it was good to, you could see it in the nerves first 2-3 shifts, but after that, the boys did what we've always done for the entire year. So,
you guys able to notch 54 shots. Tell me, is a high number of shots part of the game plan, or is that just the way it worked out today?
No, it's just the way it worked out. I think the only other game where we had that many shots was against Army, which battled us to a tie earlier in the season. So, we're usually around the 30-40 area. This was, it's good. I like it, but it's not, it's not the norm for us. So,
I think you guys executed very well on special teams. You had a 5-minute measure there to kill off, and then you're able to get 2 on the power play. Talk to me about how special teams has been for you throughout the year.
It's been good. The key for us in special teams is just keeping the kids calm, keeping them focused. Obviously they can get tense with some calls that are made, and as long as they're focused, they're almost unstoppable. And again, it comes down to trust. I trust them as players. They trust me as a coach to tell them how to play it, and it's worked out really well for us.
So there's still 2 more days of pool play. I think in definitely terms of looking at your report card, a very good outing for you guys, but what tweaks would you make as a coach going into the next 2 days of pool play?
There are going to be a few tweaks. It'll be depending on who we're playing. I'll be catching both our next 2 opponents and seeing how they play the game, and I'll go in, I'll draw it up for the boys on the board, and they'll take care of business.
Cam, thanks very much for this. Good luck in the next 2 days, and we'll send it back up to Lou.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Lou, now back up to you up top.
All right, Rasty, thank you very much. Once again, our final score here this afternoon, 6-1 in favor of UNH. So New Hampshire goes to 1-0 in pool play. Utah State goes to 0-1. Well, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. For Rasty McGibbon, sorry, I knew I'd get that wrong sooner or later. Yours truly, Lou Gamlin, saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, and as always, keep your minds open. Good afternoon, everybody. Miss you, Mom. Thanks for joining us here on the ACHA Broadcast Network.